Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of March Sadness. Today's topic is an album that I should have covered in my 2022 year-end review and ranking. That album is Prince Daddy and the Hyena's self-titled. That was a massive oversight on my part, and I am sorry. I've been spinning this record a lot lately, and I've seen Prince Daddy and the Hyena twice since this album has come out. So I want to set things right and make what's unfortunately one of the very few videos about Prince Daddy and the Hyena's 2022 album. Although when this album came out, I remembered seeing a lot of positive buzz about it on Brooklyn Vegan and Pitchfork, and even on Reddit. But I did a very, very bad thing, and I judged a book by its cover. I listened to Prince Daddy and the Hyena's most streamed songs from their previous albums, and I listened to Shoelaces, and I just wasn't into it. I found every reason not to like them. The vocals are too harsh. The name of the band is weird. Do I really want to go around saying that I like a band called Prince Daddy and the Hyena? Would I be caught dead in a Prince Daddy and the Hyena shirt? I don't think so. I half listened to this album. I didn't even give it the respect of a full committed listen. I forgot about it, and it didn't even end up in the conversation of my 2022 recap. But just like oysters or fine wine, Prince Daddy and the Hyena is an acquired taste, and it's kind of unexplainable. Once you get it, this is what other people are hearing versus this is what you're hearing. Of course, you get to be snobby to the naysayers and say that they just don't get it. But that's basically true, isn't it? I mean, for a long time, I did not get the appeal of Prince Daddy and the Hyena. Cosmic Thrill Seekers was so scattershot, I had a difficulty latching onto it, and it's still a really tough listen for me, honestly. This self-titled, though, it is a good one. And if I had given this a real chance back in 2022, it would have been competing for a spot in my top 3 favorite albums of the year. The magic of the self-titled is that it's very much not mainstream, but at the same time is full of radio-friendly moments that a wider audience is sure to love. A friend put me in charge of music in the car for a brief moment, his mistake, and I put on Shoelaces and was like, dude, this song goes hard. I'd forgotten that Shoelaces starts with Corey's more abrasive vocals, and my friend was like, what the hell is this? And if I would have forced him to listen to the entire album, he would have been saying that a lot. I was certainly doing a lot of what the hell is this on my first listen of Prince Daddy and the Hyena, but over time I started saying that with awe instead of skepticism. This record is grappling with how terrifying death is, and it's beautifully framed in this concept album. The son, the collector, the passenger, all playing their own part in this therapeutic fever dream. And that dream makes dramatic and sudden shifts into a nightmare thanks to some very nice guitar work and haunting deliveries like Here by Corey. The challenging songs are balanced by some very friendly and catchy ones too, though. Listening to their earlier work, you would wonder if a band like Prince Daddy and the Hyena is even capable of writing singles. But they do a great job with just that on songs like El Dorado and Keep Up That Talk. The choruses are undeniable, and the guitars soar here. They're undoubtedly the album's shiniest tracks. The 2 biggest moments on here are actually not my favorite songs. Curly Q attempts to prepare a youngster for some harsh realities, but for me it doesn't seem like something that Corey actually wants to say to a kid. It's more about the intrusive thoughts that you have when looking at a life so innocent and full of possibility. They're kind of annoying thoughts to have about something that you hope could just be celebrated, not stressed about. And then you have Black Mold, this 9-minute, crushing, career-defining monster of a track. It has this weird, sentimental voicemail that leaves a pit in your stomach because you can't tell if it's drunken ramblings or someone's last words. And Corey didn't know either, but what's haunting is he doesn't let us know which one it is. Lyrically, I'm not 100% sure what's going on Black Mold. I have my own interpretation based on some of the religious imagery on here, but that's as far as I want to go into it. Albums like this one are so helpful to me, at least as kindling to help me think about some fears and anxieties and work through them. For me, Prince Daddy and the Hyena relies on a simple through line, that death is scary. But it gives you 42 minutes of metaphor and story to help you come to terms with it. Maybe. It's possible that it makes you even more afraid, like when the song Hollow As You Figured devolves into a scary and distorted mood. P. Daddy weighs their options, looking for some physical solace or a metaphorical savior, but finds shortcomings in both. They're looking at Jesus Christ, dreams, being present, friends. They even look at the sun as some kind of uncaring doomsday clock. In this search, they find God, but he's some big black rodent that tears apart my liver. The answer that I find in this record that might be unsatisfying for a lot of people is that you just don't want to think about it, and that you should distract yourself with things and people that matter. Maybe Prince Daddy feels that way too. Again, that's just my own interpretation and what I get out of this album, but I don't think the fear of death is ever going to leave me completely. Everyone says, well, you know what it was like before you were born, and you don't, and they're like, well, that's how it's gonna be when you die. Or death is a natural part of life, there's nothing to be afraid of. Those platitudes and truisms that we've heard a million times before make the pill a little bit easier to swallow, but this album isn't really paying those any mind. In the final moments of Prince Daddy and the Hyena, it's not about conquering that fear, it's about accepting it. They sing, I'd accept my end beside you. Like so many scary things in life, it's easier to face them together. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of March Sadness. Let me know what you think of Prince Daddy and the Hyena's self-titled in the comments, and I very much hope to see you in tomorrow's episode.